'Cause I heard it all the same. But go ahead, amuse me. I need it now. I need it now. All them pretty words, always lame. You're trying to entice me. Not going down. Not going down.
So, let me tell you, I'm not psychic, but I have a feeling that some of you are expecting lots of naughty words this evening. And you're not entirely wrong, but tonight I invite you to perceive pleasure and naughtiness from a different angle. Because sex and lust and fucking isn't just in our genitals. It isn't just in words like penis and vagina and pussy and humping and licking and thrusting and moaning and gasping. You see, I gave you some naughty words already, but for real, it is a lot more. It's holistic. Sex and sexuality lives in every cell. It's in our mind. It begins before any of our sexual organs have even arrived to the party. And this is where many of us struggle. And this is where we often find blocks and hesitations and shame and taboo, all the negativity in our minds that stops our bodies from feeling. And it goes beyond sexuality. It's in our self-worth. So let me introduce you to my fire, because I have been known to inspire a light. And I want to spread my fire amongst all of you tonight. And in order to lead you where I'm going, I have to start with looking at what it means to me to be a woman, because being a woman makes up a large part of my sexuality. So here's an ode to womanhood. Because womanhood isn't a simple concept. It's a complex identity shaped by each individual experience. It's about the strength found in our daily lives, the resilience in facing challenges, and the ability to nurture and create, whether it's life, art, or change. And we stand firm, rooted in the knowledge of who we are and what we've overcome. Our lives are full of stories, and not just of struggle, but of thriving. Womanhood means holding power in our intellect and emotions and using them to navigate through situations. And our bodies, they are more than objects to be scrutinized. They are vessels of strength, carriers of life and instruments of action. And every scar, every curve tells a story of endurance, of battles fought, not just for ourselves, but for those we love and the generations to come. And our minds are sharp, they're capable of leading and learning. We break barriers, we challenge outdated norms and pave new paths, not just for the sake of rebellion, but for progress, for a future where being a woman is synonymous with being respected, heard, and valued. And womanhood is about connection to ourselves, to each other, and to the world. It's about recognizing our worth, demanding our rights, and cherishing our diversity. We're not asking for a place at the table. We're creating our own. And this ode to womanhood is a call to acknowledge our complexity. It's a reminder that our journey is ongoing, filled with opportunities. So let's embrace those negative words like insecurity and vulnerability and weakness as areas where we can heal, where we can grow, and where we can prove to ourselves that we are more than society paints us to be. So here's to the women we are, the women we admire, and the women we're becoming. You're safe, I tell my inner child. I'm going to take care of you now. I sit and stare out of the window. It's grey and the rain is tap, tap, tapping. It's comforting in a way, reminding me that even the skies weep sometimes and they're not less majestic for it. I switch on all the lights in my flat, but I can't shake the damp, cold dullness in my body. And it's soaking up the last dredges of energy I've been saving for better days. Because, and I'm going to treat you like a really good friend right now and be crushingly honest, I'm really hoping for some better days. Have you ever had that feeling that you're trying so bloody hard, but it all just keeps going wrong? Yeah, me too. And for a long time, I thought the universe had just offered me short straws right from the beginning. But lately, I wasn't sure whether it wasn't me myself casting spells on life and struggling to deal with the consequences. But the thing is, taking all that responsibility on my shoulders is a lot to, well, shoulder. And it's exhausting, so there must be more, right? It can't just be in my head, no? And do you remember those days when we were children? Oh, I was a carefree girl. I played without inhibitions. My imagination was unchained, and my mind and my body felt at one. You know, like when you build something out of plasticine with a body and a head, and it magically stays together? Well, at the moment, that plasticine person is like two separate entities, my mind and my body. And I feel like I'm not in my body, as if I'm falling like the plasticine head. My mind tells my body what to feel, and it's like a prisoner within itself. It's no longer feeling. It's condemned to live a life I've not consciously chosen, a life that doesn't make me happy, no joy and no pleasure. I sound depressing, right? Like I haven't got control of my life. But have you not felt that way before? Have you not questioned your choices, your happiness? You see, self-reflection can be wholesome and heal us, because I'm now suddenly realizing as I grow older that I didn't choose all these things, all these responsibilities. Some were in fact imposed on me. And I felt like a puppet, meticulously controlled by an unseen puppeteer. I felt restricted by invisible strings my entire life. And more than strings, it seems now chains have started to appear. Subtle at first, then heavier, imposed by society, and thereafter forged by my own doubts. And I've danced to the tune of these expectations for too long, twirling numbly to the staccato rhythm of shoulds and musts, losing my own music in the process. And I've reached a point now where I say, no more. The woman I see reflected in the rain-spattered window is feeling reckless. It's time I turn my back on those shoulds and musts, because I've discovered that there's a wild, untamed part of me, long silenced, that needs to roar. It's the part that finds beauty in chaos, strength in vulnerability, and wisdom in the unknown. And this inner wilderness is where I draw my power, because it is raw, it is unfiltered, and it is beautifully imperfect. Because the universe owes me nothing. I owe it to myself to create those days, and I give myself permission. You see, we're not survivors of our stories, we're the authors. And if you felt anything like this in your life until now, let me offer you the space right now to allow yourself to go on a little journey through your body. Now, my starting point is always my mind. It's where I hold all my meetings. It's where my struggles, vulnerabilities, and self-doubts originate. It's where I question, loathe, criticize how often I feel vulnerable, insecure, unworthy, not enough. I don't celebrate my successes. Instead, I dwell on my failures and how often I cry at night, ugly cry, thick, hot tears soaking into my pillow until my nose is stuffy, and no ice pack in the world can rescue my puffy eyes in the morning. Because I believe I could do more. I should do better, and I must try harder. And honestly, I have spent too long focusing on all the things I could, should, must. My mind should be filled with pleasure, hope, opportunities, and love. So join me in cleansing our minds. And you can close your eyes if you like. Take a deep, slow breath. And as you exhale, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a peaceful ocean. And the water stretches out before you, vast and serene, glimmering under a soft, warm light. And the air is fresh, filled with a gentle scent of salt and sea. And now picture yourself stepping into this ocean of calm. Feel the cool, soothing water as you begin to float effortlessly. And with each gentle wave, you drift further into a state of deep relaxation. And the water supports you completely. You let go of all tension. And as you float, picture the water being infused with a radiant golden light. This light represents love, and it envelops you. It seeps into every pore, every fibre of your being. Feel it as it fills you, replacing any stress or negativity. And the ocean's gentle movement becomes a soothing rhythm, rocking you softly. And in this moment, there's nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to be. Just be here, floating in this endless sea. And with each breath, let your mind rest. Allow thoughts to come and go like the ebb and flow of the waves, but don't hold on to them. Just be present with those sensations of floating and the warmth of the golden light. And now move your attention to your face. When you were little, did people compliment your face? Did they tell you you're so cute? Did they praise all your external features? Did anyone ever say you were kind or funny? Or that you give great hugs? Yeah, me neither. It was the structure of my cheeks, or how I resemble my mother, or straight teeth, or sometimes it was how ugly my face looked when I cried. And when I was angry, I was banished to my room. They would tell me to swallow my emotions. Don't be such a crybaby. But now, picture your face now. Picture a tear rolling down your burning cheek. You look incredible. You look strong. And follow that tear. Follow it as it seeps into the corner of your lips. Your lips. The lips that speak words of love. The lips that are capable of giving comfort. The lips that can kiss lightly, love passionately, sumptuously nibble foods that spark warmth, excitement and sensuality in our mouths, on our tongue, your tongue, the tongue that so often had to be bitten. And there have been countless moments where I've had to bite my tongue, each time feeling like a small surrender, standing in a room full of people, opinions flying like sparks. I felt my own words rise up, a tidal wave of truth, but I swallowed them down, biting my tongue. And it wasn't fear that stilled my voice. It was the heavy cloak of expectations, the unspoken rules, like many before me, had been draped in since childhood. Forcefully quieting my own voice became a routine so ingrained that I sometimes wondered if my thoughts were ever truly mine to express. Each time I bit my tongue, a part of me raged against the silence, yearning to break free from those invisible chains. I realized that with every silent nod, every suppressed answer, I was not just hiding my truth, but burying it deeper within me, But I refuse to bite my tongue and let my voice be smothered by the weight of antiquated norms and expectations. I'm ready to speak, to let my words flow freely like a river breaking through a dam. I'm ready to reclaim my voice, my truth, and myself. So think of your tongue right now. Think of everything you could do with it, and play with that idea. Play with kissing, licking. Imagine the sensation of a tender, passionate kiss. Think of all those incredible tastes we can enjoy. Licking a rich, creamy ice cream on a hot summer day, the cold sweetness melting on your tongue. Or the zest of a freshly cut lemon, the earthy richness of dark chocolate, or the spiciness of chili, or the comforting warmth of homemade soup. Each taste carries its own story, its own emotion, evoking memories and creating new ones. Now, if you like, trace your lips with your finger and keep tracing around your cheeks, your forehead that might enjoy kisses, down the bridge of your nose, down your center, and keep going down your neck, bursting with sound, with voice, your throat. And feel the vibrations there, the pulse of life and expression, because this is where your voice lives, where your words take flight, where your laughter bubbles up, where your sighs and whispers and moans emerge. It's a well of your truth and your thoughts and your desires. And think about the power it holds, the power to articulate your dreams, to speak your mind, to stand up for yourself, to sing your joy, to love. Because your voice is uniquely yours. And it's been hushed, perhaps, altered or modulated to fit into boxes and expectations. But now, feel its raw, unfiltered potential. Because it's not just about speaking. It's about being heard and resonating with your true self. So embrace it and let it soar. For in finding and using your voice, you reclaim a piece of yourself. So take my breath away. Give me lumps in my throat. I want my heart in my mouth. In fact, let's wander on to your chest, your heart. Place your hand on your chest and rest here for a moment. Our hearts. Women are renowned for making a house a home, for being a heartbeat that sustains the rhythm of relationships and families and society. We're often the nurturers, the caretakers, the emotional anchors in the turbulent seas of life. Our hearts pulse with compassion and empathy and love, driving us to connect, to heal, to support. And in the grand scheme of society, women's hearts are behind movements of change, behind the hands that rock cradles and the voices that demand justice. We, as women, are the quiet yet formidable force shaping the world one heartbeat at a time. But I need a moment longer here. My heart, oh, my dear heart. I wish to paint you in the most vibrant of colours. You deserve so much, and I have not been kind to you. I have often not listened. I've often not nurtured you, and how you've ached, how often you've been broken, how I've glued you together precariously, and how I've favoured my thoughts over your opinion. I apologise, for you're always there and you give me so much. You have been my compass, the flickering light guiding me, my anchor through every triumph. And in the quiet moments you whisper words that only the language of the heart can convey. So I pledge now to honour you and to listen more deeply to your beats, to care for you as fervently as you've cared for me. My heart, I celebrate you. You are the core of my being, and for all that you have given and all that you are, I'm eternally grateful. And goodness, you've given me even more. You skip beats when I'm in love. You race when I'm happy. You keep beating when I'm sad. I tap, tap, tapping. In times of fear, you pound like a drum. In moments of peace, you beat softly, a gentle lullaby that soothes my restless thoughts. And in moments of peace, you beat softly. In times of passion, you beat so unfailingly. I feel you in every inch of my body. You're a storyteller. You, my heart, are a mirror of my deepest emotions. And you do not just beat for me, but for everyone here. And now imagine that golden light beneath your hand, that warmth, that energy, everything we're capable of, because our heart continues to beat and whisper to us. My heart is beating faster now, because the more I allow myself to sink deeper into that water, the more I allow myself to fall, the more I begin to feel, and the more I begin to heal. For I'm not broken. The plasticine head can be molded back onto the body, but I need to touch it. I need to feel it. And in order to do that, I need to reawaken my intuition, my gut feeling. I need to listen to my gut. And you see, there are so many things within me, within you, that we can authentically listen to. Why do we listen to those outside voices, those expectations? We're all humans. We all have this vast expanse of a universe within us that we can draw energy from. Block out the rest and stay with me here, right now. Because my gut has been ravaged in so many ways. All those voices, all that criticism, my body. Oh, me, my body. Considering it's my body, people have had so many opinions on how it looks, what it should do, how it should perform. But it's my body, and it's my intuition. My body, my rules, my guide. People don't get to dictate how I feel about my body. It's been with me through everything, good days, bad days, and everything in between. It's strong, even when I don't always see it. And it's time I start appreciating it more, instead of letting others' opinions get in the way. And yes, it's given me so much. Butterflies in my stomach, the churning when I'm nervous, all reminders that I'm in touch with my emotions. And beyond that, my womb. Lead your hands further down to your womb. Feel its pulse. Have you ever spoken to it? How quick we are to chastise it for giving us mood swings and stomach pains. But our menstruation is a reminder of our sacred energy as a woman. And far from being a burden, it's a natural rhythm that connects us to generations of women who have walked this path before us. It can also give me incredible orgasms. Oops. How did I get here? My thoughts were not headed towards a naughty place. But look how connecting with myself, my inner thoughts and dreams have tickled out a fire. And it's been there all the time, flickering, but spending so much time with me, myself, away from all the things I should be doing, have made it a light. And I feel an energy. Do you feel it? If you like, put one hand on your heart and one on your womb. Can you feel that elevator of warmth and light? Maybe it prickles with excitement. Maybe it leaks further down for you the way it does for me. Notice your hands resting on your skin and feel into that sensation, because our hands, oh, what incredible tools they are. They're not just for holding, for touching the world around us, they're for exploring. Your hands, the same ones that can be so gentle, can ignite fires of desire within you. So if you like, allow the hand on your chest to slowly circle down to your breast. Breasts. They carry so much meaning in our society, don't they? From breastfeeding, a symbol of a mother's love, to the complexities of exposing ourselves. Breasts have been both revered and sexualized, sometimes simultaneously. They can be symbols of sensuality, often objectified, but they're a part of our bodies, a source of comfort and strength. And the sensation of your hand on your breast, feeling the curves and contours, is a reminder of the many roles they play. So as you let your hand rest on your breast, take a moment, perhaps circle the contour, embrace the warmth, visualize your nipples, visualize being kissed there, being nibbled. Imagine all the things you would like your breasts to feel. Do they like it soft, rough, playful, naughty? Perhaps you don't enjoy your breasts being touched at all. This is your body and your journey. Now, if you like, move your other hand down and place it gently over your vulva, your pussy. Nothing's going to happen here, not if you don't want it to. Let me tell you of my journey, for it was not always easy. My vulva, it's such a powerful place, isn't it? A source of incredible sensations. And my own journey with my vulva has been a path of acceptance. Society often shrouds this part of our bodies in secrecy and shame, but it's time to break free from those constraints. It's time to celebrate our vulvas for the wondrous beings they are, because our vulvas hold the potential for immense pleasure. And they're a gateway to our desires, a symbol of our femininity, our strength. So as you rest your hand on your vulva, take a moment to acknowledge this power. Embrace it as a sacred space, a place where you can experience so much. It's yours. It deserves your love and respect. Now I imagine my hand brushing lightly over it, over my bush. I don't shave. I used to. Society wanted me to. Partners wanted me to. And I abided. But now I wear my hair however I want to. And my bush feels prickly but beautiful. And I've spent so much time with myself that I'm wet. Like I've dated myself. I've taken myself on a date of self-love, allowing all these emotions to flow right through me whilst I float. And my fingers lightly part my lips. What a sensation. And it hasn't always been this way. My disconnected mind never allowed me to get wet so fast. It wasn't feeling it. But now, with all that plasticine mushed back together, I'm finally connected again. So sliding my fingers around my vaginal opening, I feel a murmur escape my lips, because I am no longer biting my tongue. I am uninhibited, untamed. Self-pleasure connects me with the depths of my desires. And as my fingers explore, I'm reminded that I am in control. I'm the author of my own pleasure. The gasps, the whispers of ecstasy, they're all expressions of me, unfiltered, unapologetic. And in this moment, I'm free from that judgment, from those expectations. It's just me and my body, no longer disconnected. I'm whole, present, and fully alive. And my fingers slide further in. I pull the tips up towards my G-zone. My chest shudders. Oh, it feels electric. The lights have been turned on. Not in my flat, but in my mind. And the ocean has washed through it, through me. I feel alive. My heart quickens. Drawing my fingers out, I taste myself. How often I was told not to touch myself as a child. How often doctors and society dictated what was allowed with my own body. Even my vagina was not my own, but a subject of hushed conversations, taboo and restricted, guffawed at by gynecologists, gossiped about by others, a bucket fanny, loose labia, hairy, not smooth like a baby. But here, in this moment of self-exploration, I reclaim it as mine. It's not about shame or secrecy. It's about understanding every part of myself. And I'm not going to come. No orgasms here today. But I'm also not going to come to any conclusions without listening to my gut. I'm not going to come into relationships without hearing what my heart has to say. I'm not going to come to hasty judgments, for patience is my guide. I'm not going to come to despair when faced with challenges. I'm not going to come to society's expectations. Instead, I'll stand proudly in my authenticity, challenging status quo. For I do not owe anyone an explanation of my sexuality. I do not owe anyone an apology for living my truth. I do not owe anyone an adherence to their stereotypes. I do not owe anyone the suppression of my desires. I do not owe anyone an apology for embracing my identity. I do not owe anyone an explanation for being who I am. I do not owe anyone anything. I am grounded in my here and now. I make my own choices. I explore, I feel, I experience, I love, I cry. I am strong, I am vulnerable, I am soft, and I am all these things at once. I have pimples, dimples, wrinkles, freckles. My eyes are brown and filled with speckles. I laugh, I sing, I dance, I fall. And in the mirror, I embrace it all. Hip dips, bit lips, tummy rolls, tired souls. Bingo arms, crooked teeth. Nobody sees what lies beneath. But with each imperfection, a story unfolds. In the tale of my life, each chapter holds. And I celebrate my quirks, both big and small, for in being myself, I stand tall. In a world that often seeks to define, I let my true self brightly shine because I am a woman, fierce and free, unapologetically, authentically me. I won't be confined by society's gaze. I'll blaze my own trail in my own ways. With self-love as my guiding star, I embrace every battle and every scar. And with mind and body, I am one, complete. A harmony of strength, a love so sweet. I honour every part from soul to skin, for in the depths of self-love, that's where I begin. And my soul feels at peace. Does yours? If you like, wrap your arms around yourself and embrace. Can you feel how you yourself are the main character in this story? You yourself have the power to not only eliminate those consequences, those expectations, but to arm yourself with all the love and pleasure your mind and body can provide you. So let me lead you back to my room that day, the day I wished for better days. As the rain eases outside, a ray of light sneaks through the clouds, painting the room with a warm golden hue. It's a reminder that after every storm, the sun awaits to emerge. And in that moment, I make a promise to my inner child and to myself to live authentically and wildly. And I whisper to my reflection in the window, a smile blooming like the first flower of spring. Don't tell me how to be a woman. I'm writing my own story.
Trying to entice me, not going down.